we're asked to create a line that has a y-intercept of 1. And before we move on, if you have a y-intercept of 1, that means it's 0, 1 for a point, right? Because you're at 1 on the y-axis, and when you cross the y-axis, you're at 0 on the x-axis. And then it's supposed to be parallel to this equation. If two lines are parallel, then they have the same slope. So let's take this equation and figure out what its slope is. Let's put it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract that 2x from both sides, because slope-intercept form is where you just have the y by itself. I've got to make this disappear. Now it's in slope-intercept form. And the slope is always the number that's attached to the x. So the slope is -2. Okay? So if you're asked to create an equation that's parallel to this one, it's got to have the same slope. Y equals -2x. And then it's usually plus b. That's usually what we write, but b is the y-intercept. And they tell us they want a y-intercept of 1. Okay, so it turns out we don't need to really use this point. You could do that if you want. You could plug in 0 for x, 1 for y, and then solve for b, but it's just quicker to say, hey, this is the slope, and the number hanging out by itself, that's the y-intercept.